Simone is going to start off this hour in Buffalo, New York. Hi, Simone. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me today.
Sure. What's up?
So basically, I'm really blessed, and I'm in new college. I'm going to graduate college in May of 2022, and I'm kind of blessed to be making $100,000 after graduation with a $10,000 signing bonus. So I kind of had two questions.
Sweet!
One,
What's your degree in?
Computer science.
Way to go,
Wow.
kiddo. You killed it. Yes. A college student with an actual career. I love it.
Yeah. So I guess one thing, how do I properly make sure I use this amazing salary to set myself up for the future? And secondly, how do I convince my parents that I shouldn't take out a loan for a car? Because I kind of wanted to drive a cheaper car that's $10,000 using a sign-on bonus, but they kind of want me to take out a massive car loan to get a nice $30,000 car or something like that.
Okay. I think you've reached a point, kind of gone over the edge of the cliff now, in that you graduated, you're 22 years old, you make $100,000 a year. You don't have to convince your parents of anything, honey. You're like an adult and stuff.
I guess you're right.
Do what?
I guess you're right. I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah. You don't need their permission.
No. It's your life. It's your money, by the way, too.
So, I mean, just, you just smile and say, Mom and Dad, this is what I decided to do, and thanks for your input. And by the way, I may not go to the same church you go to, and by the way, I might buy a dress that's a different color than one that you like, because I'm like an adult and stuff. You don't have to say that to them, but that goes through your mind, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is the part where they start to understand that having children who are grown is the hardest stage of parenting, because you don't get to tell them what to do anymore.
No, that makes sense, because they wanted me to kind of do the whole, I guess, stay-at-home mom thing and stuff, and kind of be an English major who doesn't make a lot of money. So I guess you're right.
And you decide to go be a computer genius and stuff. You're amazing. So, I mean, listen, I don't want you to be unkind to your mom and dad, but the point is, you have reached the point in your life where you no longer have to have their permission to do anything. It would be nice to have their approval, but sometimes they may choose to withhold that approval.
Makes sense.
Okay. I mean, let me just tell you how bad it gets sometimes. Rachel ordered a Tesla. This is how bad it is. And I can't do anything about it.
Now, you need to explain to the audience why that bothers you so much.
I can't stand those cars. They're not real cars. They're a battery with 4 wheels.
Dave likes to smell gasoline.
I want a loud muffler. I'm a redneck, and I don't know how I possibly raised a daughter that wants a battery. But she did. So
that's great.
It's a big joke around our house. So the point, I mean, and if Rachel were sitting here, she would love this discussion too. But the point is that she did not buy the car to get her father's approval. Otherwise, she would have bought a 4-wheel drive truck with loud mufflers. So, but you see what I'm saying? So you know, and I love her, and it's fine if she gets a Tesla. I don't give a crap. George bought one too. I mean, I don't care. Everybody's got one. So whatever.
I don't.
Well, I know, Ken, because you're like a real man and stuff. But, yeah. But the
even I laughed at that one. Dave, I want to say something real quick here, because Simone, here's something, and Dave, I want you to weigh in on this. I think this is a situation where, like a lot of the advice we give on money, it's make the decision now. Don't wait and then you overthink, because what happens is the sway that parents have over their children is tremendous, and rightfully so. And I don't want her to wait to tell mom and dad, hey, listen, I'm going to buy a $10,000 car. I want her to just do it, and then she informs them later.
Just buy the car.
Yes.
That's what I bought, yeah. Yeah, and pay cash for whatever you buy,
yeah.
And then move up in car later. You're making $100,000. You don't have to drive a $10,000 car. You can get a better car with cash later as you go along. And we're going to give you a graduation present. I want you to go through Financial Peace University as my gift. So we'll teach you how to handle money. You asked another question in the call of what is the best process. The best process is to stay away from debt. It sounds like you have. Get out of debt. Stay away from debt. Have an emergency fund and begin to invest long-term in your retirement account. Honey, if you are very careful, if you're reasonably wise, you're going to be unbelievably wealthy. But if you go spend $110,000 while you make $100, like you're in Congress or something, then you're going to have all kinds of issues, and lots of people do that. So, no, I don't want you to have a car payment. And if I were in your shoes, if I woke up in your shoes, I would not advise you to buy a brand new car. And I would advise you to be kind to your mom and dad and grateful to them for what they've done for you and all those kinds of things, but they no longer have a vote. That's how it works. And, if you need their advice on something, you can ask their advice and they can give advice, but they don't have to be convinced for you to do anything you do.
And you could sense that she knew that they weren't right.
Yeah.
And she's kind of going, this was a respect question. She's a respectful young lady. And it shows the power that parents have. And Dave, I just wonder, at what point culturally, did it become a thing where it's a reasonable decision to take out a loan for the dependability of a new car?
1967. I made that up, but somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was curious.
Car payments became a thing in the 60s.
That's what I was wondering, when that became a normality.
In the 50s and 40s, there were no car payments. Henry Ford detested debt.
Huh.
He hated debt.
I did not know that.
If he understood that Ford Motor Company made more money than Ford does, or Ford Motor Credit makes more money than Ford does, he would have been just spinning in his grave. I mean, and so, that generation, J.C. Penney, was nicknamed James Cash Penney. He was tight. He hated debt. And their credit cards on the J.C. Penney at one point made more money than the stores made. And so it's a change in the way debt has been marketed so aggressively that it's become the norm. And this idea that a newer car with a payment is less dangerous than a payment.
Right.
That's an interesting shift that has occurred, but if you're the parent of a college student, you're younger than me, because my kids are all older than that. So there you go. Or you could be likely younger than me.